Giving all glory and honor and praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKadosh. Double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching this 100% truth. Shalom and salutation to the hopeful elect, beginning with the 144,000 and the rest of the men, women, and children of the great multitude of the elect. I'm your brother Magan Shalomar. Title of this video is More Proof that the so-called white man are the Edomites. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get a few scriptures, but as you can see, this photo shows you on the right hand side of Congress, Capitol Hill, the building, the architect, and then you look to the left. This is the remains of the ancient Roman Empire, the same type of architect. So let's read this. It says, the Roman Republic may have fallen, but her influences live on through the heartbeat of the United States of America. These words are inspired by the visible reflection of ancient Rome on the present American society. Even though several similarities exist between the two nations, this article discusses similarity in government, culture, infrastructure between the two societies. So as you can see, the infrastructure look the same, but they share a lot of the same things as far as their culture, infrastructure, government, and religion. And that's how we know America is the new Roman Empire, or the new ancient Roman Empire, the resurrected ancient Roman Empire. Okay. Look at the building. Look at the pillows. As you can see, the same type of pillows that's on the left is on the right hand side. I'm gonna try to blow this up more. The architect is there, because Esau said that I'm gonna rebuild. Let's get that real quick. This is Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. It says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said Yahweh, the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And that's what Esau did. Once they came out of that pit, 1,000 years of being put in that pit, in Revelation chapter 11, they came back out and they started ruling. And what they did when they got back into rulership during the Renaissance period, they rebuilt the desolate places. The same places that you see that they came out of in the Mount Seir, Petro Jordan today, you see it now. But the Lord says, you're going to build, but I'm going to throw down. And they shall be called the border of wickedness, because no matter where Esau's at on this earth, he's the wickedest on this earth. He is the killer, the killer, the thief, the murderer. I should say murderer. And destruction. He the most destructive nation on this earth. You can't get no wickeder than no other nation, more wickeder than Esau, Edom. And the people against whom the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh shall have indignation forever. The Lord hate this man. He said it. He said in verse 2 of Malachi, said, I have loved you, said Yahweh, yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, said Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau. And I laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. And that's what's going to happen to America and to Israel. But America is going to be totally destroyed through the nuclear fire and from the chariots that Yahweh Shai and his angels coming in. And them laser beams coming from them chariots, man. So he going to lay this place to waste. Once that fire dies down, it's going to become a desert. Nothing but wild beasts and animals going to live here. Desert animals come around, So again, you can see the similarities of what America looks like and who they're portraying as the Roman Empire. Now this is Donald Trump projection of his new ballroom. And as you can see, the similarities between That in the ancient Roman Empire, the same pillows, them high pillows with the demon architect up top. You see that? And this how we know that so-called white man is the Edomites. They rebuilded the desolate places. And Trump said he's about to build this place. You know, he's in the making of building it now. But the thing is, the time is not on his side. He might build, but guess what? Yahweh Shai is going to throw it down. He's going to burn this place up, man. So he could go ahead and build it, but Yahweh Shai is going to destroy it. But just again show you that Esau, Edom, is a so-called white man. You see? They rebuilt the desolate places. So here's my point. It says the Roman Republic may have fallen, but her influences live on through the heartbeat of the United States of America. And, you know, the great millstone, you know, starting from Elder Apostle to Har down, you know, they break down prophecy. You know, they are specialists in breaking down the prophecy. That's 100% truth. You know, where these other camps out there, they can't go into prophecies. They can't break down Revelation chapter 13 because that's very important, because you have to know who the beast is. You have to know who this devil is, what that dragon represents, because that's who's going to bring out the MOTB, which is the micro sea hip that's going to come about the whole entire world. So, you know, these Christians out here, a lot of y'all believe that you looking for a red dragon coming out, this actual dragon coming from the sky with 7 heads on it, when they're right in front of you every day, showing you who they are. They're the Edomites, beginning with Amalek, the top banking families, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Murdochs, the Oppenheimers, the Gettys. You know, these are top banking families, international banking families that works behind the scenes of the government. You see where it says similarities in government? They work behind the scenes of the government, which is going to bring in that new world order, which they want to bring in that new world order. And that going back to the digital currency, which is going to lead up to the MOTB. So it says the Roman Republic may have fallen, but her influence lives on through the heartbeat of America today. The words are inspired by the visible reflection of ancient Rome and the present American society. Even though several similarities exist between the two nations, this article discusses similarities in government, culture, infrastructure between the two societies. So now let's get Revelation chapter 13. Okay, this is Revelation chapter 13. I really don't want to spend a whole lot of time in this. I want to go straight to the point. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 3. It says, "And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast." Now, what is this talking about? It's talking about ancient Roman Empire, because if you read up in Revelation 13 and 1, you're going to read that this beast came out of the sea. The sea represents waters, represents people, and the beast represents people. You know, so these are actual people, right? And the 7 heads represents Esau's government when they first began rule. And the 7 governments or the kingdoms of Esau is Germania Major, Germania Minor, Rome, France, Spain, Greek, and Great Britain. And the 10 horns and the 10 crowns represents NATO and the EU. The NATO is Esau's military power on this earth, and the EU is their economic system that controls this earth. That's how Esau controls this earth. That's why he is the devil, and he's blessed with the sword, because they have the biggest army. That's Esau's army on this earth. You see, that's why Yahweh Shai has to come down, because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai gave Esau this sword, and we can't fight Esau. You know, carnally, we cannot fight. We cannot beat this man. But That's why Yahweh Shah got to come back and destroy this bastard. You see. So that's the 7 heads and what's the 10 horns is, and all of that represents the ancient Roman Empire. That's what that whole beast represents, the ancient Roman Empire. As we just read, how not only was the architect is like of America is like the ancient Roman Empire, but also it goes into the culture, it goes into religion, it goes into architect, it goes into their philosophies, you know, the way you do business, everything is circled around the ancient Roman Empire. And we're going to find out why and how. Verse 2 says, the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. And that's when Greece first came into power through Alexander the Great. He was like a leopard because it only took him 12 years, very short years, to conquer this earth, man. And that's how a leopard hunts. They hunt very fast because they hunt alone, and they real skillful, and they very quiet when they hunt, and they got to kill quick. Why? Because they hunt by themselves. And his feet were like the feet of a bear. The bear represents Russia. If you Google Russia, you will see that the bear represents them. That's their symbol. And that bear is what's going to bring down this place called America. It says his mouth as the mouth of a lion. That lion represents Great Britain today. Because if you go to Daniel chapter 7, let's get it real quick. Daniel chapter 7, I'm going to go right to it, verse 8. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn. And you read up a verse, it's talking about the 10 horns. Those are the same 10 horns that we just mentioned, we just read in Revelation chapter 13 by the scene by the prophet John the Revelator. And Daniel seen almost the same vision, the 10 horns. And then they're gonna say, I considered the horns, right? And behold, there came up among them another little horn. That little horn is talking about America. That's the little horn that came up. Behold, whom there was 3 of the first horns plucked up out of the roots, because before America became a nation, which is going into the 250th year this year, we're praying that the hopeful downfall of America, Bible ball, in this 250 year, this year be when we pray that the MOTB come out, so we get this thing on and popping like popcorn and get it burned up, But yeah, it says that those 3 before America became a nation, they was being conquered or being occupied by three other nations. And who was they? It was the French, the Spain, the French, and Great Britain. In order for America to gain her independence, she had to have a revolution war between them. She had to fight the Spaniards. She had to fight the French, and then she fought Great Britain and gained her independence out of England, Great Britain. So America came out of Great Britain because it broke away from the king under their rulership. So this is why out of the mouth, it says verse 2, it says, in his mouth as a mouth of a lion. You see, and America came out of the mouth of the lion, which is Great Britain. And the dragon gave him his power, and that's why America has its power today, because it's the reincarnation of the ancient Roman Empire, that dragon, which is represented by Esau. All of that is represented by Esau's kingdom. So the whole Edomite kingdom, this whole rulership, is the resurrection or reincarnation of the ancient Roman Empire, and that's who America got her power from, because she does everything that that the ancient Roman Empire does. Looks like the Roman Empire, the way that they operated, the architect, the legislation, the religion, this LGBTQ, you know, everything, the economic system, the trade system, everything. It says, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death. And that was talking about the ancient Roman Empire because it fell. Because the ancient Roman Empire was very powerful. And they was on top of the earth. They was the rulers of this earth, but they fell. And deadly wound was healed. How it was healed? Because it was healed through the reincarnation when America came into power. And all the world wondered after that beast. After the beast, the whole world wondered, like, wow, look at this America. Wow. This is like the ancient Roman Empire all over again. How great is America? And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And that's what they do today. Everything about America is mimicked after the ancient Roman Empire. Look at the Roman numerals we have, the back of the dollar bill, the we just saw the architect, even what Trump is trying to build, a ballroom. They know who they are. They refuse to let it go. I'm Salaki. The elder apostles starting to rub off on me, you know. But they don't want to they can't let it go, man. They are the ancient Roman Empire all over again. America is. It says, and they worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? You see? Who is like unto America? Who can make war with America? See that? Who can make war with America? You know? This is the power of this devil, man. America is the new ancient Roman Empire because they rule with iron. You know? They had, you know, real fierce in ruling when they was in rulership. Who can stand up to this beast? Who can stand up to America? Who can stand up to America? That's what they're saying. Revelation chapter 13, verse 4 again. They worship the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, that ancient Roman Empire. You know, and it's the beast system, you know, the whole system which leading into the MOTB, which we know that to be the micro C head. This is what this beast is doing. This is what Esau Edom starting with the small hats of the top elite families, man, of the international banking family. This is what they're doing. They're bringing in that beast system. The beast system is bringing in that micro C head. It's all tied together. You know, that's going to come about the whole entire world. You can't buy or sell unless you have that chip in your right hand or inside your brain, inside your forehead. Somewhere in your body, you're going to get that chip in order to buy or sell. And this is coming from Esau Edom, the so-called white man. The small hats, the top elites. It's going to come about the whole entire world. So this is why it's so important that, you know, the other camp to bring forth this truth, man. Because Great Millstone, starting with Elder Apostles on down, and broke this down plenty of times, where a baby can understand it. You know? It says, who is like unto the beast who is able to make war with him? This is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 1. It says, come near, ye nations, to hear and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. In this world, let's go into this world, right? Because this is dealing with the whole entire world. This B system, this MOTB, this RFID chip is coming upon the whole entire world, not just America. And this is the ball, okay? It says the ball, which means world, right? In Hebrew, it says world. The earth, globe, right? And if you go down here where it says Strong's, right? And it says world in bold letters, is poetic synonym of Aratazah. Aratazah, which means the earth, the whole entire earth. So Let's go back. It says, "Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people, let the earth hear, and all that therein the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah is upon all nations," the whole entire earth, right? "And his fury upon all their armies." Why? Because he's rounding them up. He's getting ready to judge all these heathen nations, man. Top of the list, Esau, Edom, right? In the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, the valley of decision over there in the Levant region. That's what's happening over there. Why America's been drawn into it? By the small hats. They drew America into the war with Iran, which is all prophecy. He have utterly destroyed them, and he have delivered them to the slaughter. And that's what's going to happen when Yahweh Shai comes back. "Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melt with their blood." How is it going to melt? Through ICBM missiles and through the laser beams coming from the chariots that Yahweh Shah and the angels coming in. They're going to destroy this place, man. America is going to become a lake of fire. And also Israel is going to be destroyed as well, totally destroyed. But Israel is going to be built back up. It has to be cleansed, you know. Get them devils up out of here. Esau, Edom. Verse 4 says, "And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and the fallen fig from the fig tree." Yeah, because there's going to be them ICBM missiles coming down. It's going to be rolled up because of the mushroom clouds. It's going to look. This is how America, this is how Yahweh Shai, who can fight the beast? Yahweh Shai is going to destroy this devil. You see that? Thermonuclear destruction. The heaven's going to roll up like a scroll. You see how it rolls up? Come from that mushroom cloud. All that dust, debris forms that cloud, the fire. That's what's going to happen to America, man. That's what's going to happen to Israel. This place called America, the ancient Roman Empire, is going to be destroyed. Yahweh Shah is going to do it, and them angels are going to be setting fire with those laser beams from the clouds. And even though Russia and China and all their allies are going to be actually the ones sending over those ICBM missiles that you see here, but it's going to be bathed in heaven, meaning Yahweh is going to have his spirit on each and every missile. So if you're not part of the elect, you're going to probably eat one of these missiles, or you're going to die by famine, or however way you're going to die. You're going to die by Yahweh Shai and his holy angels, but you're going to die if you take that chip. And that's why, you know, it's so important to understand the coming to the fold. Listen to these great millstones starting from the elder apostles on down. You know, the true breakdown of who your enemy is, which is Esau, Edom. You know, because the Edomites is not done away with. They're here. They showing you right in their face who they are. You know, and America is Babylon the Great. America is the ancient Roman Empire. America is the ancient Egypt, spiritual Egypt. So with that, I pray you is edified. Call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah by Hashem Makar HaKadosh. Shalom.